Allison Greenberg is out front. She is the CEO of Ruth Health. It's a maternity care startup that has money deposited in Silicon Valley Bank. So, Allison, thank you very much for being with me. So you are right in the middle of this. Let's just start with when you realized you're a startup, you've got money at this bank, you're using that money to make payroll and other things. When did you find out something was wrong?
So my co-founder, Audrey Wu, and I received an email from one of our seed investors. The email seemed cryptic. It was strange. It was urgent. It was not like the other emails he sends. And we were in meetings. We run a busy maternal health startup. We have so many concerns every day that this email just didn't make sense. So a few hours later, I called the investor and I said, hey, what was this email about? He was out of breath, like he had just run a marathon. And he said, take your money out of SVB, go into your account, take your money out as soon as possible. And, as a business owner, my co-founder, Audrey, and I constantly think about two things. We think about our team, the people we employ and their families, and we think about our patients, the mothers, the new moms, and the families that we support and their families. And so for us, it was do this now or else.
Okay, and this was what, yesterday or the day before?
This was yesterday between the hours of noon and 3 p.m.
Okay, yesterday between the hours of noon and 3 p.m. you get this. So then you do it. You go and and how does that happen? They actually give you the money? I mean, these are the 3 hours before the world fell apart. So what happened then?
Well, we were incredibly lucky to have that news early from an investor. We didn't withdraw the money immediately. We're conscientious business owners. We spoke to a few other investors. We spoke to friends. I mean, this is like calls going off the hook for the last 36 hours. When we felt confident that this was going to be a crisis, Audrey acted fast. And this is the kind of fear that actually incites focus. We withdrew the money through transfers and wires as soon as possible. I mean, she was withdrawing small amounts, big amounts, just to not set off an AI that might limit our withdrawals. And we were able to remove, this was not our only bank account, but we were able to remove the majority of the funds so that what was left when the website crashed was below the $250,000 FDIC.
Right, so you have money there, and I know and the FDIC, in terms of, because the amount, I mean, obviously you had a lot more than that there. You were able to get that out. The amount that you have that's insured now by the FDIC, the $250,000, your understanding is you're going to get that pretty much right away.
What we're hearing is by Monday.
Okay, so that I think that should give people calm. The FDIC, if you're under the limit, it gives you is holding strong on this. So Barron's is reporting that the CEO, Greg Becker, I just mentioned him. I know you weren't on that call, but he had that call. That he sold nearly $3.6 million in stock less than 2 weeks ago. That's obviously worth zero tonight. I mean, I know you don't necessarily know the circumstances of that, and I'm not trying to say it was nefarious. I'm just saying, what's your reaction when you hear that?
Erin, my reaction is that this is so much bigger than a bank. I run a nationwide telehealth company. We serve, prenatal and postpartum patients. I have friends in healthcare tech, in financial tech, in property tech. All of us see the impact on human life. And so for us, a call with the CEO of the bank is not our first priority. Our first priority is securing those funds and making sure we can meet payroll on the 15th. So, the human impact of this, I think, is something I cannot underscore enough. And, my heart goes out to so many business owners, not just startups, but small business, agriculture, all the kinds of companies that bank with SVB, where their founders and owners are struggling right now, trying to make ends meet, trying to make payroll.
And so you fear, and what you see is, I mean, we're not even talking here about other banks, we're talking about SVB itself, but that the impacts of this are significant.
I mean, they will affect everyday Americans. They will not just affect CEOs like me. We have team members in Arkansas, North Carolina, Washington State, Minnesota. Those people would be affected too, had we not gotten those funds out in time.
All right, and of course, so many didn't. All right, Allison, thank you very much for sharing your story, telling us exactly what happened here in these just past hours. And you heard what she said, between 2 hours yesterday afternoon, making a decision to pull all your money as a company out of a bank.